Nobody woke up this morning and decided to disrespect you. You trained them to. That is hard to hear, but it is the most important thing you will hear today. Because as long as you believe disrespect comes from other people, you will spend your entire life waiting for them to change. And they will not change. Not because they are evil, but because you never gave them a reason to. The Stoics understood this 2,000 years ago. Epictetus, a man who was literally owned by another human being, a slave, and yet he was the most psychologically free person in the room, not because his circumstances changed, but because he understood something most people never do. Respect is not given, it is trained, and you are the trainer. Here are 5 reasons people do not respect you, and exactly what to do about each one. Number 1. You say yes when you mean no. Every time you say yes to something you want to say no to, you send a signal. The signal says, "My comfort matters less than yours. My time is less valuable than yours. My boundaries are flexible and yours are fixed." And people hear that signal. They do not hear it consciously, but they feel it, and they adjust how they treat you accordingly. Epictetus said, "Never say about anything that I have lost it, only that I have given it back." Here is my analysis. Most people say yes out of fear. Fear of conflict, fear of being disliked, fear of disappointing someone. And every yes that comes from fear costs you something, not just your time, your self-respect. And when you lose your self-respect, other people lose their respect for you too. Here is the practice. This week, every time someone asks you for something, pause before you answer. 3 seconds. Ask yourself, do I actually want to do this? If the answer is no, your response is 4 words. That does not work. No explanation, no apology, no long excuse. Watch how people treat you differently when you start protecting your time deliberately. But this is just the first signal you are sending. The next one is even more dangerous. Number 2, you explain yourself too much. Here is something nobody tells you. Every time you over-explain a decision, you are silently asking for permission. And when you ask for permission, you hand authority over your life to whoever is listening. You did not go to the event. You spent 10 minutes explaining why. You chose a different career path. You felt the need to justify it to everyone. You said no to something. You apologized 3 times. The moment you explain more than necessary, you signal that your decision is up for debate, and people will debate it. Not because they are wrong to, but because you invited them to. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Here is my honest opinion. Confident people do not over-explain, not because they are arrogant, but because they are secure. They made a decision based on their values, and they do not need external validation to feel okay about it. Here is the rule. 1 sentence maximum. This does not work for me. I have thought it through. I am comfortable with this choice. That is it. Full stop. No debate. No defense. The less you explain, the more authority you carry. And authority is the foundation of respect. Number 3. You laugh when something bothers you. This is the most invisible one on this list, and it might be the most damaging. Someone makes a comment that crosses a line, and instead of addressing it, you laugh. Because it is easier. Because you do not want to make things awkward. Because maybe they did not mean it, but you felt it, and they saw you feel it, and then they saw you pretend you did not. And that moment, that tiny invisible moment, taught them exactly how far they can go with you. Seneca wrote, "He who has anticipated the coming of troubles takes away their power when they arrive." Here is my analysis. Disrespect almost never starts loud. It starts as a joke, a comment, a tone, something small enough that you question whether it even counts. And because you question it, you let it go. And next time it goes a little further, and you let that go too. Until one day, something happens that is impossible to ignore. And by then, the pattern is already set. The Stoic response is not confrontation. It is one calm sentence delivered without emotion. That was not okay. I did not appreciate that. Let us keep this respectful. No anger, no lecture, just a line drawn clearly in the ground. People who respect you will adjust immediately. People who are testing you will be surprised. And that surprise tells you everything about why they said it in the first place. Number 4. You are inconsistent. Here is the truth about respect. It is not built in moments. It is built in patterns. And patterns require consistency. You set a boundary on Monday. You abandon it on Wednesday. You say this is important to you. Then you act like it is not. You tell people how you expect to be treated. Then you accept less than that without saying anything. And people notice. Not always consciously, but they notice. And what they learn is that your standards are not really standards. They are moods. And moods can be weighted out. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Here is what I believe about this. Consistency is the most underrated form of self-respect, because it tells people that your words mean something, that when you draw a line, the line stays, that you are not someone who can be pushed and pulled depending on the situation. Inconsistency is exhausting, for you and for everyone around you, but consistency builds something over time that nothing else can: trust. And trust is the foundation everything else is built on. Pick one standard this week, just one, and hold it without exception for 7 days. Watch how differently people begin to treat you by day 7. Number 5. You need them to understand you. This is the deepest one, and the hardest to let go of. Most people do not just want to be respected, they want to be understood. They want the person who disrespected them to see it, to acknowledge it, to apologize for it, to get it. And when that does not happen, they stay stuck, replaying the situation, explaining their feelings, trying harder to make the other person see what they did. And the other person does not see it, because they cannot, or because they do not want to. And either way, it does not matter, because your peace cannot depend on their understanding. Epictetus said, "Seek not that things which happen should happen as you wish. Wish things to happen as they do, and you will have peace." Here is my final analysis. Needing someone to understand you gives them power over your emotional state. As long as you need their acknowledgement to feel okay, they control how you feel. And people sense that need. And whether they mean to or not, they use it. The Stoic shift is this: you do not need them to understand. You do not need them to agree. You do not even need them to apologize. You need to know your own standards, hold them, and let other people respond however they respond. Some will rise to meet you, some will not. And both outcomes are information, not tragedy. Most people will watch this and immediately think of someone else, someone who needs to hear this, someone who does not respect them. Stop. Look at yourself first. Where are you saying yes when you mean no? Where are you over-explaining? Where are you laughing when something bothers you? Where are you being inconsistent? Where are you needing someone to understand you? Fix those 5 things. Not for them, for you. Because respect from others always starts with respect for yourself. And respect for yourself starts right now, in the next decision you make. In the next moment, you choose clarity over comfort. The Stoics did not wait to be respected. They became respectable, and everything else followed. If this gave you something real, subscribe. More Stoic weapons are coming.